Welcome to Till Death I Do with Vic and Sue, the podcast that asks you, are you still friends with your spouse?
Dun, dun, dun.
My name is Vic. Alongside me is my lovely wife, Sue, and together we are the Villanovas. And guys, we have a great show for you guys today.
Yes.
You know, first of all, we want to thank all those who have liked and shared and subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much. Please continue to do so. Take the time to leave us some feedback. Let us know what you think. Man, we already heard some good things. Really good things. I'm actually more excited to do more of these now, than I was a few days ago.
For sure.
Right on, right on. So today we're going to start a series on the foundation of a marriage, and one of those bricks, if you will, is friendship. So I think today we're going to start a good series about that and the importance of friendship. How important is friendship in marriage?
I think it's the key. One of the basic things the most basic things you should have in a marriage is at least being friends.
and like each other. And like each other, I guess, right?
Yeah. But I mean, even before that, you build a friendship. Even before, sometimes there's physical attraction, of course, in the beginning. But I think the first building block, the first thing you want to lay down is just a solid friendship.
So, what do you think is the difference between a friendship and an acquaintance?
I feel like there's a lot of booty calls out there.
No.
People who are
I have to say, I've heard that phrase a long time. That's kind of corny, right? Do people even use that?
I know. I don't know. I'm dating myself, I guess.
Okay.
What do they call it? Friends with benefits.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
People who, you'll call up to hang out when you feel like hanging out, but not really in a deep way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. There's a few girls out there I remember who are the acquaintance.
Oh my gosh, really? Sorry.
I thought this was a safe place.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Share.
Never mind.
What are their names?
No. No, but I do feel like there's those individuals that are just you just knew what they were for. Or at least where I grew up from,
Yeah, it's very popular, actually.
Yeah.
People who don't know you deeply. You're not in an actual relationship, but somehow you can still be intimate, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if intimate is the right word though.
Oh, jeez. Maybe let's not.
I feel like intimacy is a different ballgame than just
true. You're physical with
a booty call.
You have a physical relationship.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go deeper than the surface. Yeah.
And I think that's why friendship is so much important. I think a lot of marriages are missing. I'm not even missing that. I think they forgot. I think some of you guys forgot what that friendship was like. I think a lot of failed marriages are because they either got tired of that or you forgot how to be that friend because life happens, and I feel like that's just sad in some ways because, it's the person you shared yourself with.
Yeah. Well, I think even more so, I feel like some people didn't even have that to begin with. So marriages they never actually became friends. People sometimes have an idea of the kind of spouse they're looking for that checks all the boxes. And I think people discredit how important having a friendship with someone, having actually liking the person for who they are.
Instead of the physical attraction?
It could be physical, it could be material.
True.
Right? If they're someone who's successful and has a lot of money and they have a house and a great car, or, they're ambitious, or even that they're spiritual, right? You see someone who's on
fire.
Right. They're on fire. Or they just look like they are doing really well in life. And you think, this is a great match because I want to match them in that level. You know, I want to be at that level of success or whatever it could be. You know, whether it's money, whether it's I like the way they look, you know, I like what they bring to the table. But none of that actually has to do with being friends.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are looking for like the materialistic thing. I think a lot of people are looking into like, what is that dude? What's on his? You know, what is he wearing? You know, what shoes does he got?
How many followers does he have on Instagram?
That's the good one right there, dude.
No, but I'm serious. I think nowadays people are looking like, do we look like a good couple together? Do we like, you know, do we look good in pictures together? How do we look to the outside world as a couple, you know?
Yeah.
I think even like, to bring it back to like even celebrities, right? Like some people just get together because it's a good business deal. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
that's
we match up in our like success level and it's just going to get us. Yeah. But I think in a lot of ways people do that. Like they think like, you know, I can upgrade you. You can upgrade me, you know, like, or that we went to the same college or, you know, we have the same career path or, you know, not to say that those things don't bring people together, but that's not going to make you, you know, last the long haul when it comes to that.
That's not the brick you want to build this, you know, this whole.
Because imagine, like, I marry someone because they're really successful. What if they lose all their money?
You won't love them?
Well, you didn't have money to begin with.
Damn. Wow, here we go. We're right back. You really.
My love don't cost a thing.
Knocking them out the park over here, huh?
But, well, no, I think that's why people get divorced. Right? Because if I marry you for your money, and then you lose your money, and we lose our house, what am I with you for anymore?
Right.
But if we're friends, if we have a deep connection, it goes so much farther than that.
Like, we'll help each other out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't go there.
Like, we're partners.
Yeah.
You know,
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that we have that partnership, you know? Because I just say there's been so many times where, you know, you've covered me, I've covered you. You know, I mean, man, through thick and thin. Yeah. But we still managed to be awesome friends, you know? And I think it's sad that a lot of couples out there, they lost that. 600,000 divorces are happening since 2021. Just in 2021.
In that year alone.
Yeah, it was like over like 680,000, you know? And this is from like a Forbes article there for those fact checkers out there, right? And it just shows that, man, dude, half of the marriages that happened that year ended up in divorce. The odds are kind of like 50-50 out there. So that's why I think it's important that you guys go in there correct, you know, making sure that, you know, you're doing what needs to be done to like really have a successful chance at this, you know. I don't think it helps that in this day and age, social media and the influencers and the followers,
which we're trying to be.
Dang.
Follow us at vic.and.sue on Instagram. So what do you think makes a good friendship in a relationship?
You know, I think you have to be yourself.
Yeah.
Number one, you got to be yourself. You got to be confident in who you are.
And I think sometimes when we're building these relationships and the friendship within that relationship, it's like we want to come off like our best selves, you know, which is not a bad thing, I think, in the beginning. And it's like, obviously, it's like, I want to look cute. I want to look attractive. I want to, you know, I'm not going to like, well, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to chat on a burger because I would chat on a burger. I wouldn't care about doing that. And like my first date, I just felt, you know, like.
That's true. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But, you know, but maybe it's like your first date, you want to look cute eating a salad or something, you know, but eventually it's like if you really want to build a life with someone, you gotta put your cards out there, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the sooner the better. Like, why not let someone know you for you and see if they like that? a lot of building a strong friendship it has to come from a place of almost like a security, right? Like you have to feel secure. If it comes from a place of insecurity or fear, I feel like
someone has to be confident.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be confidence to be okay being yourself, you know? So women, I think sometimes are in our insecurities, we want to try to look too perfect or too put together or too like made up all the time. Yeah. You know, every eyebrow in place. And that's unrealistic to keep up, you know? Or men are constantly trying to like dough or like be either too smooth or too like, you know, like needy and too like, you know, what can I do? What can I do? You know, instead of just like being confident in who you are, showing the person who you are right off the bat. And then if they like you, they like you. And if they don't, they don't. I don't think I would feel comfortable or I could be in a relationship where I felt like I always had to be like put together. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't make a mistake or I couldn't, you know, like be myself, really be myself. I want to tell the poop story. Story?
Nah.
Is it too much?
That's a lot. Dude.
A moment that I knew you weren't going to go anywhere.
Oh, dang.
Was, we just had started dating. And I really needed to use the bathroom. And you were the closest apartment in New York City, which is actually, it's very hard to find bathrooms in New York City.
Yeah, because of what you did.
No, I mean, like, it's hard to find a bathroom to use. Anyway, I used the bathroom in your apartment, and it was not what I expected.
Ditto. You know?
You didn't have a window or vents in your guest bathroom. And we were about to go on a date. I had taken
She was on some real protein diet. Like she was on some.
I think I took like a smooth move or something that morning.
Smooth move. Shout out to Smooth Move.
Anyway.
Ruined bunch of bathrooms out there.
You were so gracious. But you know, I was like really trying to just like flush as I go.
And then I was on the 6th floor, so the water pressure wasn't like the best. You know what I mean?
There was no candle. There was no vent.
I didn't know.
There was nothing. Like nothing to save me. No way out. And I only remember you walked past the bathroom. You were like, dang.
The level of friendship where
it was homie. Like an instant.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
instant, like, you know what? If he's not gonna break up with me now, if he's not walking away now, like, we got it. We got what it takes to make it.
I mean, I wish you would have told me you was gonna do that. I would have told you, like, give me an air freshener, some extra toilet paper.
I'm talking like this is like a month in, guys.
She went in blind too. She didn't tell me. She's like, I need to use the bathroom. All right, cool. I thought she was gonna take a, go in and out type of thing. Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
Anyway,
and then, man, dude, she came out sweating. She came out like, oh man, huffing and puffing. Like, what happened in there? You know what I mean? That was rough.
It was a struggle.
Tough to watch. It was tough to watch.
And I think God allowed that to happen.
So really? That's where we going with this?
I do. I think it was destined because it showed me like, all right, like, we can get past this.
Oh man.
And, now 12 years later,
here we are.
You've seen me give birth.
That was tough. See?
Yeah,
that's another story.
That's another story.
Gosh, birth is amazing. It is. My goodness, I've never seen anything like that.
But you know what I mean? That was our first test, and I feel like we passed.
That wasn't a test. That was a massive test. Man, babe, that was you. Wow. Forget about it. I can't. Let's move on. Next segment here, because
anyway, put your worst out there, because if they're gonna stay no matter what. And you know what? That's what's gonna take to make it to the end.
I have to agree with some of that. You know, yeah, and then you have like this friend zone where it's like, you know, you can get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
You know, you're thinking that you're like giving it your all, you're allowing someone into your life to do whatever they want with your toilet, right? And then
next thing you know, you're just pegged as my bro.
Yo, what's up, Papa? Let me get back upstairs. You got a mattress this time or something? Like, dang. You know what I mean? You don't want that.
No, you don't want that.
First of all, is it okay to be in the friend zone? Yes or no?
I think you could start off in the friend zone. Sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I was in the friend zone.
Okay, this is what I honestly think. I think women, you can start in a friend zone and you can work your way out of a friend zone with a woman. With men, if a man has you in a friend zone, they're not going to see you as anything else. They're only ever going to see you as a friend. That's what I think. Because men, it's hard. Like, you can get them to even become physical with you. That doesn't mean they're ever going to look at you. They can look at you as friends with benefits, but they're never going to see you as like wife material.
I think girls put men in the friend zone more than men put women in the friend zone.
I agree. I do agree with that. We put people in friend zones.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to work your way out of it. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're not initially attracted and you want more than friendship with a woman, it's hard to convince you otherwise. Once you've like decided that's not someone I'm gonna have a relationship with, it's hard to woo a man into thinking something else. Whereas a woman could start off with like, no way, just a friend.
True.
There's no future there. True. I'm not really attracted to them.
Yeah, fellas, don't give up. You're in that friend zone.
And they could really be persuaded out of that. Just a little wooing, a little bit, you know, of attention. Like, you just persist. You're just persistent enough.
I legit was in the friend zone, and I was able to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? I ended up marrying her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of that. So, guys, if you ever think that you're in a friend zone and you think you can't get out of it, that's not necessarily true. It's not. You know, I think stay involved. I mean, there's a few things that are involved with that. Like, you know, making sure, first of all, you're not a creeper.
Yes. You know, don't be a creeper.
There's finesse involved with this.
You're
like,
not.
You know, you can't just be in there and like.
You can't go full force all at once, overwhelming. Because we can get overwhelmed. We're like, wow, that was way too fast, way too aggressive.
Right.
They're not picking up on the signals that women are giving off. Like, Like you're back up.
Yeah. And then there's some guys out there who are just continuing to do that. And then there's ladies out there who enjoy the attention and then they're taking advantage of the gentleman's generosity.
I used to be one of those, for sure.
You know, share some more. Sure.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it is. It's like you just want attention. Someone's giving you attention and they're not really requiring like a give and take kind of a thing, you know? And that can be easy to take advantage of.
So what did it for you? What helped me get to the next level?
Oh. Well, you were always very charming, which I appreciated that, you know?
I keep hearing that. I like that.
You were. And you made known that you liked me, but you weren't too much with it, you know?
Mm.
There was
I wasn't sweating you like that.
No, there were still boundaries that you kept.
Right.
So you would, when we'd see each other, you would say stuff like, you look really nice, and that was very flattering to hear. But it was like still very appropriate. It wasn't like you're coming off too creepy or too weird or too awkward, and then you would just drop it. It wasn't like you were wanting to keep going in that. It was just kind of like, let me just tell you how nice your hair looks, and then let's move on. Let's talk about something else, you know?
I know you have to you have to make sure you know the boundaries and stuff. But I used to be like, oh, this is nice. This looks good. I like this.
And then you'd like move on.
And then I move on,
But I will say the one thing that I did take note of was that you weren't always, it wasn't just to me. You were a really good friend to a lot of people. And I took note of that. Like you were really good friends to my friends. They enjoyed you around. You would be really nice to them. I remember like, you would help them move, right? So if they were moving, you'd offer to like help move their stuff, or if they were in trouble or in need of something, you were always willing to like help out. And that stood out to me because I'm like, it's easy to be nice to someone when you maybe want something or you find them attractive, but you were really kind and generous with a lot of people. And even though you were that way with me and I appreciated that and I liked it, I liked the attention, I saw that overall, that's the kind of guy you were, and that's the kind of things you want to look for, because that's what's going to show you that even past the honeymoon stage, even past the point of like, ooh, he's trying to impress me, it was in your character. You were that kind of that.
Yeah. I mean, I really tried to make sure I set some appropriate boundaries, not just with you, but with, and we're talking about pure dating here, people. We're not talking about just like worldly kind of Tinder. I was a great friend. I always make sure I made that first because, I didn't know if it was mutual.
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure that I actually generally just care for you as a friend too,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of boundaries that go with that. I think a lot of guys take it overboard, and that's why they set themselves up for like disaster when it's not mutual.
So I think in our friendship, getting to know each other on a deeper level, because I think within that friendship, it's like you get to know the person.
Yeah.
What do they like? What do they don't like? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What are their pet peeves? What are their triggers? You get to show yours, like, man, like, this is what really grinds my gears. This is, what really frustrates me. And this is what I look like when I'm in a really bad mood. And this is what you look like when you're really ticked off, And it's not under the pressure of like living together and sharing, bills and like all that other stuff. It's more of just like, whenever you build a friendship, it's fun. Like if I think of like my best friends, they're people that I can share, it's a safe place to share myself, to share my secrets, to be open, to, to let my hair down, to call someone up when I'm just like, guys, I'm struggling, or I'm just going through a hard time. I need someone to cheer me up, and if you don't have that, obviously, within certain boundaries or whatever, you don't want to overshare. It's another thing.
Yeah, I think there has to be some solid boundaries to.
Yeah, but in a sense, like, I think going through hardship together, going through different challenges together, getting to know each other, and being a safe place for each other to be for your whole self. Like, you have to kind of weigh out, what are your deal breakers? I don't know. You have to figure out what your deal breakers are,
Is someone going to always tie you down? Speaking of tying you down, the good folks at twoties.com, you like that one?
Where were you going with that?
You like that one? You ever in need of a tie? Go to twoties.com. That's the number 2TIES.com. You know, with weddings coming around the corner, you might need a floral tie or a set of floral ties with matching socks. Go to the good folks at twoties.com. Check them out today. You might find something there just in time. Free shipping with every order. It's a good place to do good business. Give them a shot.
Check it
That's
out, guys.
the number 2TIES.com. We're also available on Etsy.
So, you know, if I ever had doubts in our relationship, if this was going to work out or whatever, or just my own fears of progressing, at the end of the day, I was like, I don't want to lose you in my life. I don't want to lose our friendship. I want to take our friendship to the next level. Sure, I think we work at still trying to keep the fire and the chemistry and the dates and the romance. You know, we work at that stuff. But at the end of the day, when our heads hit the pillow, we can share a laugh. We can tell each other our struggles. We can come to each other when we're in need.
Yeah.
When we're just having a hard time, and we could just, you know, we could just be there. And we say it all the time, like, you're my best friend.
You really are.
You're the person I go to no matter what, you know? You're the person who knows me in and out. When not everybody knows me like that. I love that we have that. We have that bond. And I think that's what's going to carry us through when we're old and we're gray and we're wrinkly and, you know, and your legs don't work and my teeth fell out.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I have a question for you. Say you lost some of your friendship in marriage. You know, marriage can get hard. Sometimes it gets difficult. What would be your advice and how to rekindle a friendship within a marriage?
You got to go back to the basics. I think we mentioned this before in one of the other episodes. With those high school vibes. And when I say high school vibes, like, what was those butterflies? Those butterflies in your stomach? Like, you got to go back to that. You got to go back to, like, man, that, like, you know, I still got to make our dates interesting. And when we don't have dates, I feel like, you know, I make sure that I cook a fantastic meal for the family. We go out to an amazing time out. We're going to a family time is on point. You know what I'm saying? I think you can vouch for that. Like, anytime we do family time, I'm doing it right. Like, whether we're going to some museum and we have dinner after that, or we're picking up some burgers and then we're going to this park.
Yeah.
And we're going to eat it at the park while our kids are sliding, whatever they're doing, right?
Yeah. You know, I think that's a really good practical in the sense of, like, get out of your normal rut, right? So if you're in a rut, get out and do something fun. Do something exciting. Do something to break up whatever that
bad juju is, right? That bad juju.
Yeah. And even for us, like you said, we don't necessarily have, like, babysitters on call that can do that, but yeah, let's take the whole family out. Let's go build memories and have good times again. And I love that you shared even about remembering who we were at our core, remembering what brought us together in the first place. Because I think sometimes that can get clouded if there's any unresolved issues, if there's bitterness, if there's unforgiveness. Right. You know, like, a lot of that stuff sometimes builds and can kind of distort our vision of each other. At the end of the day, it's like remembering what brought you together, you know, and rekindling that and being grateful for that. I think gratitude always helps my heart if I ever feel like we're in a rut or in a place where we need to come back, you know, to.
You know, I think that's good. Like, you know, even those listening right now, write down, like, what are you grateful for in your partner? We want to know, because, you know what? We also want to know, what do you guys want to hear? You know, what can help you guys out there who are listening and taking the time to listen to us. And we want to thank you again. You know, listening support is always important.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We're grateful for every
like,
you guys
share, subscribe.
Clicked, subscribed.
You know what I'm saying?
Commented. all of the above.
We're here to try to give you guys some good advice. Actually, even in the next couple of episodes, we're going to give you a little bit more details about our life because we've been we've been holding back.
Juice.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good in our relationship, but there's a whole lot of bad. You know what I mean?
Like we've been through stuff, he means, and we've overcome.
Yeah, maybe a whole lot of bad was rough.
Maybe that wasn't quite the way to say it. But so definitely follow us on Instagram at vic.and.sue for all of our latest posts and, little clips of our podcast. Definitely find us on YouTube and Spotify. You can find us at
any other platform that's out there at Till Death I Do
with Vic and Sue.
Yeah.
And we're signing off.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Yes, sir. I love you.